You guys just you keep coming around. I just keep hearing about you guys.
And I might need to tell Ryan to cut that up a little bit and just put it in my audio for my phone.
First of all, I love the game. I had a passion to play the game, not only football, but I love the game of golf. And what it lends to a person and the friendships you develop on the golf course.
It's been a pleasure being on the drop. I wish you guys all the best down the road.
As someone like you have that golf itch like a lot of us do.
I keep track of you, and you are moving. You are on the move.
So listen, I'm a big New Jersey golf guy. You're very kind, Mike, and you too, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be on just a couple of Jersey boys here talking about something we love. All the best. I really enjoyed it.
This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? Welcome back to Interview Thursday. We have Drue Nicholas on, who has had a hot summer.
Yeah, I mean, hot is an understatement. My man, Drue, plays at a Galloway, a golf course that we know and love. Lampy's down there. He sends me a text. We got to get this kid on. Not only did Drue win the Philly Am, but then he goes and beats the pros and wins the Philly Open, setting a scoring record at 12 under par. And we dive into so many different things with Drue, from the tournaments to his background to what he's doing now in his career life. It's one of those young and up and comers that I'm telling you what, moving forward, you're going to see this kid's name all over leaderboards, not only in the Gap, but in New Jersey golf things as well. Drue Nicholas, keep your eyes out for him.
All right, put his name down, mark it in your mind, because he's going to do damage as an amateur, and that's something that we get into it with him as well. So, without further ado, here's our interview with Drue. Enjoy.
All right, so today we are joined by Drue Nicholas, the Drexel grad who just etched his name into Gap history by winning both the Philly Amateur and the Philly Open. Drue, thank you so much for coming on today's show.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. I've seen some previous episodes, so I'm excited to dive in.
Drue, I'm going to jump in here. What a heater your summer has been already. Are you like on cloud nine? Are you like pinch me? What are you feeling right now?
It's pretty great. I didn't expect this at all. This whole summer could have been much different. I barely got into the match play at Philly Am, and so if I don't make birdie on the last and I don't get in through the playoff, we could be having a much different conversation or no conversation. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. Definitely a pinch me moment growing up playing in Gap over the last 4 years. So to be able to do this is pretty awesome.
Nice. Well, we'll dive into it, but Mike likes to start in a specific spot.
Yeah. Well, I like to give you guys the platform to kind of educate the audience on how you got into the game and what got you going into this crazy game that we all love to play, to kind of where you're at today. Because I mean, winning those two tournaments is a big deal, but where is the starting point for a guy like you?
Yeah, I guess I'll try and give the Reader's Digest version, but moved to Harbor Pines Golf Club in South Jersey, Egg Harbor Township. I moved there when I was 2, and so just living on a golf course, I guess it was natural to take your son to the range. I was 2 years old, so that sounds crazy, but I guess I recognized my dad recognized at a young age I had a talent. Played a little bit when I was 4. I think played my first tournament around 6. Found some early success, but I didn't know where golf would take me. So just kept playing junior tournaments. Got to the point where I'm a teenager, started playing some AJGAs, and then got some college traction there. Committed to NC State down in Raleigh, North Carolina. I spent a year down there. It just wasn't a good fit for me, and so I came back closer to home, went to Drexel. Big thanks to Ben Feld. He kind of picked me up off the waivers, but went to Drexel, spent 4 great years there, and just graduated in June. Here we are.
I love, Mike, every time that we have one of these guys come on that's like young college kid, or even these guys in college, they bounced around juniors, or they didn't make it seem like they were some stud that was lighting up the junior tours. To go to NC State, that's big time golf. Not that Drexel's not, but
Yeah,
like
no, it was huge.
you did more than just kind of batted around as a junior.
Yeah, it was a huge accomplishment. I mean, at the time when I committed, we were like top 25 in the country. And then my freshman year, next thing I know, I think we got down to 7th in the country. And so to be in an environment like that was very unique, a lot different than Drexel, but they're both good in their own ways. So, yeah, I was pretty fortunate to go to NC State out of high school.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty impressive stuff. So, again, let's kind of start with the Philly Am because let's just go in order here of these
Hmm.
big time tournaments.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, my research has it that basically hours after you graduate from Drexel, you go on to win the Philly Am. What is
Yes.
that? Is that
Yeah.
accurate?
That is accurate. Not hours. Graduation was Thursday. The final was Friday. So I guess a day.
All right, so we're talking
Yeah.
26 hours, not 24, nonetheless. So I
Yeah.
guess my first question really to someone like you is like, what does it feel like going from commencement to a championship so
Hmm.
quickly?
I think, I mean, it's, how do I explain this? When I was sitting through graduation, I was not thinking about graduation. That was pretty much the last thing that was on my mind. The last, like, I mean, I quite frankly could have cared less about graduation in that moment. Having to sleep on that, it's just not easy, especially for someone that loves the Philly Am as much as I do. So, bit of background, I never played in any of the Gap Junior events. My first Gap event was Patterson Cup, I think in 2021, and then I won it in 22. And I didn't realize until after I won the Patterson Cup just how big of a deal these Gap events were. And ever since I won that, I was chasing that high, so to speak, of trying to get back to that point. And so to finally be in this position to be able to accomplish, I mean, it's basically my master's. I'm never going to go pro. And so this is my master's, so to speak. So sitting in the commencement speech, I'm just like, man, g- I can't wait to be done this, quite frankly. I just need to get to Aronimink
Let's
tomorrow.
wrap this
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I actually like I want to come back to the AM there, but Drew, just so you because you brought it up,
Hmm.
what's the plan now? Like graduated from college, are we not trying to turn pro? Or are we just going to stay in the amateur events? You know,
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay in AM. I think golf is so, well, there's a couple of reasons for that. First and foremost, I think if I relied on golf to be my paycheck, so to speak, I'd lose my love for the game. Secondly, I think golf is a unique sport in the sense that you think of sports like football, basketball, for example. Sure, you can probably play some pickup basketball after you graduate college, but football, not really. And so there's no chance in those sports to compete at a super high level unless it's professionally. And I think you look at a game like golf, where I understand the people who are in the mid-ams, like it's not the same as being professionally, but you still get that rush of competition that I don't think you get in other sports if you don't go pro. So both of those coupled together is really why I'll never go pro.
I said it before we hit record that I like Drew and I like the cut of his jib, and man, that is a well thought out, mature answer there.
Yeah,
Good
thank
for
you.
you, dude. Yeah.
Thanks.
Golfers, the wait is over. Weequahic Golf Course is back. After a 5-year renovation across all 3 Essex County tracks, the trilogy is complete. And guess what? They saved the best for last. Weequahic is the first public golf course in the Garden State, opening over 110 years ago. This golden age design just got a modern revival. Architects Stephen Kay and Kevin Wager have enhanced the original Vescu mounding, pop bunkers, and classic greens, delivering a strategic test that's as mental as it is physical. It's golf like you've never seen. Vintage architecture set against an urban backdrop with planes soaring from Newark Liberty International Airport, views of the Anheuser-Busch Brewery, and even glimpses of One World Trade. Weequahic is truly one of a kind. Modern turf with old school soul. You'll feel the ghost of the game walking with you, asking where the hickory shafts went. Weequahic Golf Course reopens Thursday, July 31st. Be a part of the next chapter in Garden State Golf. So let's dive into the AM here.
Yeah, let's do it.
My research has you never qualifying for match play, and then
Yeah.
you get to this season. What
Hmm.
did you do differently to kind of break that, to say, hey, listen, I'm going to turn the tide a little bit heading into this summer of golf. And I'm
Yeah.
really going to, what was that mindset like, or that change that you made to make this all happen?
I don't know if you guys are gonna like this answer, but I made no change. I literally didn't play much golf at all from CAA conference championships at Union League all the way up until the AM. Sure, I play for fun, like a little bit with my mom and my dad for 9 holes on Friday nights, but um, as far as practice plans go, like none of that. I would play once, twice a week with some buddies, but I would say leading up to the AM, the 2 weeks, I touched a club maybe twice. I played the day before the AM at Galloway, and I hit it good. And I liked Aronimink, played there in the fall, thought it was a good track. Never saw Bradley run in my life. So my expectations were very low. But with that being said, I still know that I can play golf at a pretty high level. And I just think the last few AMs, I got too amped up, too nervous in the match play. And so I just threw all the expectations out the window, ultimately. I was just happy to get one round at Aronimink, full disclosure.
Just just went out there and
Yeah.
let it rip. Just hey,
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
to lose, everything to gain.
Yeah, exactly. I chucked up a 3 over at Radley Run. I'm like, well, here's goes this story again. And then luckily at Aronimink, I played good.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and I think when I'm watching and going through it, because I can't lie, a lot of what we do is
Mm.
New Jersey golf based. And then when I see
Yeah.
this kind of pop on my radar, and I'm like, wow, okay, we got a local guy, Galloway. We understand it's in the gap in terms of where its association lies. So we're like
Hmm.
looking around, and then not only do you win this, but you win the Open too. But as you're going through the entire Philly Am, and
Hmm.
you're chalking up 7 and 5s, 5 and 4s, kind of like I don't want to say running house, but like minus the one match where you win one
Hmm.
up, you kind
Hmm.
of clean the field with each of your opponents. Were you
Not to be
playing
disrespectful, but it's a dusting.
Yeah,
All but the
yeah,
one was a dusting.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, throughout the entire tournament, are you thinking like day one, okay, played really well. Day two, I played okay. We're day three, here we go. And then were you just striping the ball from tee to green? Where you're rolling the putts? Like, what was the difference to because not just like these guys, they're very similar to you. They can golf their
Hmm.
golf ball, but
Yeah.
you just kind of destroyed them.
Yeah. I think so. The first day of match play, I played great. Everything was good. Driver was good. The whole week, I putted really well. Like, I think that's an overarching theme. Like, I putted great. But Um, I played really good the first day. Game was just easy. You know how those days are. The ball's going where you want it to. Next day wasn't as easy, but I still played good. But I think throughout the whole event, I know it's a marathon, and so I win the first match. I think 7 and 5. It's like that's a good match, but it doesn't do me any good. Like yes, I move on, but I have such a long way to go. And then you win the next one, and then I'm playing a good friend of mine, Andy Butler, in the quarterfinals. I, in my mind, felt like that was the championship match. I felt like if I beat Andy Butler, I have a decent shot of getting to the championship match. I mean, phenomenal player. He may have medaled at the U.S. Mid-Am last year. So, and he won the Pennsylvania Mid-Am. So, I know him outside of golf, good friend of mine. Win that match in the morning on Wednesday. And then I was kind of like, okay, only one more. Um, didn't get ahead of myself though. It was a crazy game we play. So, luckily, everything went right. I hit the ball good enough. Didn't play my best golf, but that's match play, and I guess everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think watching that whole thing on my end was something else. Just seeing you kind of just roll through things. Tell
Hmm.
me the story about the caddy, because one of the things that popped on my radar was the importance of you bringing on your caddy. That seemed to be like a theme that I kept going through my research, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
gotta ask you. Tell me about
Yeah,
that.
Gap loved that. They ran with that one. So my caddy's name's Rob Callaghan. Big shout out to Rob. Started out, he's one of my dad's best friends, and then just over the last, I'd say 5 years, we became really great friends. And so he looped for me for stroke play the last 3 years at the Philly Am, qualified for me in a USAM qualifier too, but we didn't make it. And so this year he was like third and final go, third time's a charm. He understands that I'm starting work like after this, and so he's like, I think this is our last good shot. And so he looped for me in the stroke play. It was great. And then the next 2 days, so I guess Tuesday, Wednesday, I hoofed it myself. And then I told him, I'm like, I'm playing pretty good, hoofing it myself. Um, I don't know if you need to be up here on Friday. And he's like, dude, I wouldn't miss this for the world. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, I'm there for you. And come Friday, my mojo was terrible. I wouldn't say I was super nervous. Like I've been in nerve-wracking situations before, but I just felt behind. It's something as simple as hitting out of a greenside bunker, and then you're still away. So you're rushing to rake your bunker, and then you get on the green, right? There's all these things that you don't think about. And more so than not, the guy I was playing, Patrick, phenomenal kid, really enjoyed his company. It's my first time truly meeting him. But he comes from Huntington Valley, which is a very, golf rich club in the Philly area. And so he had a ton of support. I didn't really have anyone until the second 18. And so I just needed Rob there to talk about everything but golf. And we didn't talk about anything with golf. He didn't really help me read putts. He didn't help me with anything else. He was just there to talk about anything but golf. So super thankful to him. I don't think I would have won without him. And so, yeah, Gap loved that story.
So let me get this straight here. You're hoof in the bag. Hey, I got it. He's there for the support for the first
Yep.
13 holes.
Yeah.
And then you just wave him on and we're like, hey, grab the, come and tote the
Yeah.
sack.
So hole 9, we're walking up the fairway. I'm like, I know you have that call soon it was like 10 o'clock, you had a call or something for work. And so I said, when you get back from your call, like, you're getting on the bag. And he's like, all right. And he comes running out. We're at the furthest part away from the clubhouse. Comes running out on 13 it's 13 and middle of the fairway. And he's like, all right, I'll try. And from there, it was really good.
It's so the caddy player relationship is so unique to anything in
Yeah.
sports because it's no other sport do you have your coach on the field with you, and
Yeah.
or your and I know that the caddy's not like your coach, but it like you said, he got you mentally right. You talked about everything but golf, and that calmed you down. It settled you.
Yeah.
You had someone to rake bunkers, so you didn't feel sped up. Like all of those things he does for you, and it's a very unique situation that like
Yeah.
I know other sports you have teammates on the field with you or on the court with you, but it's different. He's not necessarily your teammate, but he's not your coach. It's super unique. I love that relationship.
It is unique. Yeah. Really lucky. Just phenomenal through and through. It was a great story.
So you win that tournament, right? And now you kind of start changing your mindset. Like, okay, I notched a huge win under my belt. Probably internally, you probably think that, hey, listen, I thought I could do it. The fact that I'm able to go out and actually get it done is a nice feather in the cap.
Yeah.
But now when you start talking about the Philly Open, you're talking about a different level. Because I know specifically, Brandon Shattuck is a stud out there. Kind of dominates a lot of different events out there, especially on the open side. And he is one of those club pros, quote club pros, that also mixes it up with the big time guys as well.
Yeah.
Going into the Open, what were you thinking?
Well, I wasn't even signed up for the Open at first. So I
Wow.
wasn't exempt for the Open through the Patterson Cup win a few years ago. And funny enough, I thought I was exempt for like 5 years after that. And last year, I was trying to like plan out my schedule for college golf. I had to plan a certain number of events, and I just wasn't exempt. And so I missed all the qualifiers. So this year, it's like, oh, I have to qualify again. So I didn't sign up because I didn't feel like missing work to go do a qualifier. And I made it to quarterfinals, and Kirby from Gap, he basically says, with this, you're exempt into the Philly Open now. Do you want to play? And I said, sure. Like, why not? I didn't want to go through the Q school aspect of it. So I said, yeah, let's do it. And so wasn't signed up at first. I think I put so much emphasis on the Philly Am winning that the Open just didn't take precedence. And so leading up to it, I once again didn't play much golf at all. But the weekend before, I came to Philly, I played like 54 holes over the weekend, and then the tournament was Wednesday, Thursday. Besides those 54 holes, I didn't do a ton besides putting at Great Bay with one of my great friends at night for like 30 minutes. But that's besides the point. Basically, I didn't have a ton of expectations once again. And I think that should be my common theme from now on.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy just how I played good that weekend. I really did. And after that weekend, I never get ahead of myself, but I know when I'm playing good. And more importantly, I never talk about when I'm playing good. I think so many people are like, oh, I'm striping it this week. Like, that doesn't matter, So I knew I was playing good. I didn't say a word about it. And I went to the Philly Open, and I knew what I was capable of, and I knew how I played over that weekend, and quietly went out there and did my thing.
So in saying that, do you think you're a little superstitious then? Is that like a superstition you think you'd have?
Yeah, in the sense of, I guess so, in the sense of not talking about how I'm playing. Yes, I would say I'm superstitious. I think more people should adopt that personally.
Yeah.
Too many people say they're grooving the ball. My game's in a really good spot, and they go out there and just don't do that. So, yeah, I'm superstitious in that sense.
The New Jersey Golf Foundation, the charitable arm of the New Jersey PGA section, is committed to positively impacting lives and communities through the game of golf. With a focus on 3 core pillars: youth, military, and special needs, and led by PGA of America golf professionals, the New Jersey Golf Foundation hosts a dynamic lineup of annual programs for all levels and abilities and a series of special events to support programming. Signature youth programs include golf in schools and PGA Junior League, while military programming is highlighted by PGA Hope, helping our patriots everywhere, a weekly rehabilitative golf program that is saving the lives of military veterans. The foundation is also a strong advocate for inclusion through its support of Special Olympics New Jersey Golf and L's for Autism. To support programs and special events, please visit njgolffoundation.org or call 732-465-1212. That's njgolffoundation.org or 732-465-1212. And to educate our audience too, because I know a lot of them may not understand how the Gap does some of their tournaments because we're so
Hmm.
big in New Jersey golf. But the
Yeah.
Gap, in terms of the Philly Open, it's 36 holes, 18 holes for 2 rounds,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
So it's low guy after basically 36 holes.
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. Day 1 starts, and
Hmm.
again, I look at some of these names, and Troy Vanucci's a guy for us that we've had on the show that, kind of intermingles between New Jersey golf events, Gap events.
Hmm.
He's in the field.
Yep.
Obviously, Braden's in the field. And you got some other guys that I probably could name names that our audience may not be as familiar with as maybe the 3 of us would be. But you
Hmm.
go out there in the opening round and you fire, a 7 under.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 7 under 65 with only 1 bogey the entire round.
Yep.
You shoot 65 day 1 with those names in that field. What are you going? What's going through your mind throughout the round? Like, man, I feel like it's like chip and putt.
I definitely don't feel like it's chip and putt, but Bidermann, I never played there before, so that was my first time ever seeing the course, and
Ever?
ever. So I got off to a great start. I was 5 under on the front 9, and you're thinking to yourself, "Wow, this is pretty good." But you know the amount of rounds that I've been 5 under through 9, and I end up with something like 2 under. That happens all, like not all the time, but it happens, right? And so you can't get ahead of yourself, and so you make some good pars early on, some good up and downs, and um, I think I just kept telling myself like, well, let's just get to like 18th hole, right? I wasn't trying to make more birdies. Well, of course you're trying to, but I'm not a greedy guy. So I was like, I'm happy with this. This is good. And then I just kept stepping up and hitting good shots. There were times where like, there was a par 5 on the back, and it's not an easy par 5. I had like 270 in. There's definitely trouble around it. And I said I might as well just keep my foot on the gas. And so I swung so hard at this 3 wood. I said, if it's not good, at least I don't have to say what if. And so I pured it, a 2 putted birdie. It was great. Um, but I think throughout that whole round, you're just trying to keep the ball in front of you, especially on a course you've never seen before, because you never know what can happen. So didn't get away from myself. I played great, hung in there. And I also knew I was playing good. And so when I'm playing good, I feel like I'm in control. So luckily, it was a great round, and I finished up 7 under.
Yeah, 7 under, and you're 7 under through 13 holes. Let's put that in context as well. So, I mean,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
want to call it pitch and putt. I'm going to call that pitch and putt for someone
Yeah.
that's 7 under through 13. But hey, listen,
yeah.
each their own. But I will say, you finish the round, you shoot 65, you look at the leaderboard, and I'm not going to, discredit everybody else in the field, but it's kind of you and Braden when you look at that, right? Braden shoots 66, and it's going to be odds are it's going to be one of you two heading into Thursday. How
Mhm.
well did you sleep Wednesday night into Thursday?
I slept a lot better for that than I did for the Philly Am, that's for sure.
Really?
Um,
Wow.
Because
I
why?
slept
Because of
surprisingly good
expectations?
Wednesday night. No, I just think it's because at this point, I didn't have to prove to people that I could win. Like I did at the Patterson Cup, and then you're a one-hit wonder until you win another one, which was the Philly Am. And so, I mean, honestly, like Braden Shattuck's the best guy in this region. And so if I lose to him and if I play good golf and I lose to him and he plays better and he beats me, like I can sleep on that. That's fine. And so I just didn't want to go out there and choke. I didn't think I would, but if he beats me, that's fine. I accomplished so much this year, and I just figured it would be a cherry on top. It wasn't going to make or break my summer if I won or lost it. Either way, I would have considered it a win, shooting 7 under on a course you've never seen. So I slept pretty good that night. Still nervous, obviously, but slept better.
And then you get into Thursday.
Hmm.
I've gone through the scorecard. It's kind of like tit for tat for a lot of the way until you eventually kind of pull away. But I think, and get the victory. I think before I even dive into like what you thought of that win as well, you
Hmm.
do go head to head with a guy that is, like your point, one of the best in the region. Like,
Yeah.
what did you learn about your own game battling someone of that level with that experience?
I think Bitterman set up well for me. If you were to put me on a 7,500-yard golf course against Braden, I don't think I'm beating him. His game is way more polished off than me. He hits the ball higher than me. He hits it further than me. He hits it straighter than me. So on a course like Bitterman, where it's shorter, I could get away with it. But I think that's why AM golf is so perfect for me. That's why I don't want to go pro. Like I'm happy with where I'm at. And so it made me realize like, okay, like this guy's a way better ball striker than me. Like I realized a lot of things that I didn't have that he has, and it was just my day. And on a course like that, I can get away with it. But if you were to put me on a big golf course where I would really get exposed hitting 4 irons consistently into a green, I don't think we'd be having a different conversation. So, but nonetheless, you still have to get the ball in the hole, and it showed me that I was able to do that. And more importantly, I played great when it really mattered on the back nine.
So, Drew, what yardage did you guys play Bitterman from? Was it 7,000, like all the way to the
Yeah,
backs? Was it
yeah, it was
okay?
7,000.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I'm just looking at like the Golf Genius, and I doesn't have like a
Yeah,
yardage. So
yeah, all
So,
good. Yeah,
so
7,000.
and then you shoot 12 under, right? For the
Hmm.
week. You kind of go head to head, you take him down, you beat him by 3 shots. If I'm not mistaken, 12 under is also you break the scoring record.
Yeah, that was a nice bonus.
You,
I didn't know that.
yeah, which is a huge deal. You know,
Hmm.
you leave Bitterman on Thursday night with the trophy. Like, what are you thinking after saying like, holy hell, I just won the Philly Am, which I, looked at like Augusta National winning the Masters, like the end all be all.
Yeah,
But then I kind of doubled down. I win the Philly Open as well. And I mean, what are you thinking at that point?
I was so relieved. I mean, I've been pretty open about this. I'd love to try and win the Gap Grand Slam, so to speak. It's basically their four majors. The other one I can't play in is the Mid Am because I'm not old enough yet. But, you know, I, I think about the next few years and how long will I really stay competitive for Gap because like I'm an AM, like I have a full-time job that I care a lot about. And so it's like how many more years do I really have under my belt to be in a position like that I almost said on Sunday, but on the final day of the tournament.
Hmm.
And I think it's numbered. I think it's probably like the next 3 years where I'm truly competitive. And so it's like if I don't win it this year, of course there's next year, but next year I might not have a one-stroke lead going into the next day. And so there's all these things I thought about, and I was just so relieved to finally get it done. Um, Not put it in the past because it means so much to me, and I care so much about these events. But I was just so happy to finally get it done, and I use the term "get the monkey off my back" because it's true. It's something I think about. Sometimes it keeps me up at night. It sounds lame, but it's true. And I was able to do that. So the drive home was great. I mean, I talked to so many people. It was tough. After the AM, I took an Uber up to Bedminster. That's where we stayed for the weekend. So my whole family and support group was up at Bedminster. And so I was able to send the Uber and text everyone. But on my drive home from Bidermann, I couldn't do any of that. So, um, you know, just a side note, but just happy, so happy.
Drew, how do you think this like springboards your amateur career? Now we already talked about not going pro, but like, what's the future look like for you? Are we going to continue to, you know, play in these kind of high end events for the the remaining however long? And how's that going to
Mhm.
fuel your your practice, so to speak, or are we just letting it rip as it's
Oh, I'm
as
just
it's
letting
been
it
running?
rip. I just let it rip. I don't have enough time to play a ton of golf, but I'll always play the gap events. I hold such a near and dear place in my heart for those things. I don't think I'll ever, not ever, but for the foreseeable future, like I would love to play in the top tier amateur events. Honestly, it'd be such a great opportunity. That's what you play for, right? Like I think some of the top tier AM events are cooler than some of the pro events, the courses they get to go to. And there's a level of respect that comes with that. So if I continue to play well and the committees think that I'm a worthy competitor, like, of course I would take that opportunity. Who wouldn't? That's what we play the game for, especially at the AM level. Like I said, I'm not going pro, so those would be my majors, and I'll try to play in the USAM every year, US Mid Am, but I don't think you'll ever see a completely stacked summer schedule for me where I'm playing in every Gap event, every New Jersey State Golf event, some of the Delaware events. Um, I think, like I said, if I could play in those top tier AM events, it'd be a huge honor. But I don't think I'll be playing in a ton. I call some of the AMs like a pro AM, like a professional amateur. There's the guys that travel like the country and just play amateur tournaments, which is sick. But I'm not in the position to do so because I have to work.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Because
that's it.
life and money. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You mentioned it a few times. What's your job? What do we do? You said you waiting to graduate and started. What are we doing now?
Yeah, I'm in a really unique situation, but it's one I'm super excited about. So, a few months back, me and one of my best friends, he's a mentor to me. Basically, we set out to kind of build this holding company. I'm going to call it an umbrella company because I think it encompasses so many things. But we set out to build this umbrella company, and underneath the umbrella, we'd like to have, I don't know, call it 4 to 6 different service lines. And so you think of stuff like insurance, wealth management, accounting, title insurance. He's a real estate guy, so private lending's big for him. And so I'm not naive. I understand I'm 23 years old and my partner's 28, and so there's no way for me to know everything, especially across 4 to 6 different service lines. So what we do is we partner with who I consider to be the best and brightest in the tri-state area, true experts in their field. And so I manage the umbrella company, the holding company. That's what I focus my time to. And we really rely on the experts who run their companies underneath of the umbrella company, um, to pretty much fuel that. And so I guess you could say I run this holding company, but I focus on that and I let the people who are the experts in their field focus on their companies. They're truly the CEOs or the CEO like role. So that's my focus. We just rolled out our lending line. We're really excited about that. And then we're going to be rolling out the insurance arm pretty shortly within the next few months. So it's going to be a slow grind, but it's fulfilling and it's something I enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's kind of crazy to be only the second person ever to win the AM and the Philly Open in the same calendar year. I mean, that seems like legendary stuff, And the guy, do you know the other guy that did it?
I do. Yeah. True legend.
True legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay
Yeah.
Siegel. I mean, you're not going to find a bigger name in our area.
No, you won't. It's when they told me that after the first round, like in one of my interviews, it was a pretty cool moment. The whole time, the whole second day, Like I was down three heading into the back nine, and I didn't get down on myself. I just kept telling myself, how lucky am I to do something as cool as this could be? And that's really what kept me going because I was playing okay golf. I was three down though. It's not a place you want to be in per se, but being able to accomplish something like that was I was really fortunate to experience a day like that. I've said it countless times, but it's really truly awesome.
Yeah. So I got one final question here about these two major wins, one historic summer.
hmm
What's the one moment or the one shot that you'll never forget? And why does that one shot stick out to you?
Um, so my last hole of the match play Philly Am, or not match play, last hole of the stroke play Philly Am. It was hole nine at Aronimink. It's a par five. I look at my caddy and I was like, might as well like send it here. And so I swung at this driver as far as I could. I hit it good. I had about 260 uphill. I don't know if you ever played Aronimink, but the ninth hole, pretty steep hill. I hit my three with maybe like 260 normally, but this thing's like 20 yards. It's playing 20 yards uphill probably. I kill it, and I'm greenside. I hit this terrible chip to about 10 feet, and I made the birdie putt to get in, like to secure my spot, to not have to go to a playoff. That birdie putt is something that I'll never forget because if I don't make that putt, I might not be here.
And you have to go to the playoff and do all those fun things in an
Yeah.
event like that. And I think
Yep,
winning at Aronimink, you're talking about a history, you're talking, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's next year's PGA championship. No,
it is. Yeah,
it
really
is.
cool to do something like that at a venue like that. Same with
Yeah.
Bidermann. Yeah, they're not hosting a PGA championship, but two elite venues in this area. So to get it done at both of those, true honor.
Yeah. Listen, something else,
We got an
I'm blown
exemption
away.
into next year's Aronimink.
I
Unfortunately,
don't
that
think
does
so.
not cover room for
Yeah.
that one.
I don't think so. I'll gladly watch from the sidelines on that.
But with that being said, it's going to be fun to watch knowing what you did and
hmm
like we all do compare to what these guys do.
Yeah, 1,000%. It'll be really cool. They'll make it look a lot easier than I felt like it was, but
Yeah,
I
pretty
but
can't.
cool.
I'm looking forward to the Ryder Cup for that reason. I got to play Bethpage a few times, so just
Nice.
whenever you get to, this is a huge carry. You got a 230-yard carry over
hmm
crap. Let's see what they do. I just barely got over, and they're going to be,
Yeah,
still sending it over. So
it's unreal how good those guys are. I don't think, I mean, when people ask me if I'm going pro, it's probably the question I get asked the most, and it's one of my least favorite questions. But I'm like, I don't like unless
sorry.
you're at this. No, no, no. Stop. Unless you're at this level of like, like being competitive, being just on the line of, being pro or staying in am. I see what these guys are able to do with a golf ball, and I just sit there jaw dropped. I'm like, I can't do that. Like I played cricket today. I played not even the tips, I played good. And then you see the scores that they shot the first day out there, and it felt like nobody was over par out of the whole field. So, but they're so good. I think not enough people really appreciate or understand just how good they are because they make it look so easy. But yeah, it's incredible what they do.
real quick, tell me about Galloway National. I'll say this about Galloway. I think Galloway is underrated, and I
Mhm.
think Galloway is one of the best places that we have in the state of New Jersey. I know people don't agree with me on that, and I continue
Yeah.
to back it up while having one of the best pros in the game in our state
Yes.
at your
Yeah.
place. Tell me real quickly what Galloway means to you.
I'm forever indebted to that place. Um, I mean, well, so I will talk about Galloway, but I think Galloway gets a ton of press as of late. I really did come out of Harbor Pines, like a public golf course, and have an awesome support system there. And so Galloway does get a lot of press, and I love representing Galloway, but I think, the public golf course, Harbor Pines and Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, is really where I started. But as far as Galloway goes, I came there as a sophomore in high school. They really took me under their wing, and they just never stopped shelling out for me. I mean, I'm so happy to wear that logo. I wear a lot of their logos, right? Maybe it's a little bit of overkill. I don't think so, because like I said, I'm so indebted to that place and everything they do for me. But I think Alley's super underrated too. I'll never get bored playing that golf course. Yes, the green heads are difficult and they do suck this time of year, but I think it's one of the best golf courses. I think playing there, it makes other courses seem a lot easier just because that course already is so hard. But I don't have enough good things to say about Galloway. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Galloway or Jason. Um, the feeling I get walking into that pro shop after I do things like I did this summer, it really is, some of the best moments of my life. So I love Galloway. I said it so many times, but I'll keep saying it. And so they're great.
Yeah,
Well,
it is a
listen,
special place.
Yeah, it
And
really is.
Lampy's a great dude. One of the
He
best.
is. Yeah, I think they do such a good job with, they know their place is a shore club, and so it's very relaxed there, but it also is it's an elite golf course. So I think they do both of those things really well.
I would say it has very good balance. I think it has very good balance in both aspects of that. So, but listen,
Definitely.
I can't thank you enough for coming on the show, talking about these two unbelievable accomplishments and to etch
Yeah,
your
thank you.
name etch your name into legendary history like stuff is something that,
Yeah.
maybe when you're older, 40s and 50s, you'll look back and say, holy hell, I was
hmm
really, really good at golf.
I mean, yeah, it's a true honor. Like you said, it is a pinch me moment, and I think it is something that I'll look back on and say, like, how lucky was I? So really cool. Can't thank you guys enough for having me on. I watch your guys' stuff. Been wanting to come on the show for a while now. So thanks for carving out a little bit of time.
I'll tell you, keep doing things like that, you'll be on a lot more often.
That sounds good.
Drew,
That sounds good.
Drew, it was awesome to have you on. Really, I mean, I said it pre-show. I jokingly started with it that this is going to be a fun interview. You are a very charismatic young man, and you are going to do terrific things in your future. And I look forward to us having this relationship now. So thanks for coming on again, and best
Definitely.
of luck.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, really appreciate it. This was awesome.
Take care, bud.
Sounds good. See you guys.